we talk about go-to-market strategy, our target customer, this is kind of a gut check for who you want your ideal customer to be as a company. Typically, organizations like to focus that around something like a vertical, but it can also very frequently be company size. It's probably not the SMB. SMBs have a tougher time consuming managed services than some other organizations. You want to create your target customer so that you have a focus for your sales force to go out and knock down some sales. Creating your sales and marketing strategy around your product is important. Obviously, the product is paramount there and you developing that strategy. So, all these things are sort of prerequisites and dependencies on the previous items. So in that marketing content, you can create some additional brochures and slicks or things that complement your product documentation. Product documentation itself is probably a little more technical in nature than what the marketing content is. Marketing content, you're kind of looking for high-level summary of benefits for the product, what it brings to the table. And then branding. Obviously, productization of a service is a complex process that you go through. We've already gone through that process, and we allow our white label partners and agents to just assume our branding. So we have product lines that we've attached to each of our managed service offerings that are essentially transparent to Netrio and to the customer. So you could very well be Technical Partners Inc. Vigilance or Technical Partners Inc. Alliance, or they can take any of our product brands and white label them with their mission, vision, value, and logo and move directly to market.
That's important too, because we both know, Brian, that if you've got to make it easy, and it's also one of those things, it's speed to market. If you want to develop your own capability in-house, there's a whole lot of work that has to get done, and it can mean the difference. It can be a 12-month difference in terms of the difference between doing white label with the right partner versus building your own capability can be a year. And given the market today, that's opportunity cost in terms of missing out on what's a land grab that's going on right now.
The whole thing is about speed to market. And really, for our service providers, it's about expanding the portfolio of services they offer to include some of the things that we offer. And with the ability to white label our documents that we've already got 36 months in R&D and production, to extend that capability to the partner is very powerful.
How many documents, templates, pieces of content do you think Netrio has to date around this product that we hand over to a white label partner that's going to jump into market knowing the product?
Across the life cycle of these processes that we're going to outline today, including project management and onboarding and ongoing support of the clients, I'd say upwards of 50, at different points in this process they'll be used, but we'll make reference to some here in a minute as well when we get into the project management process.
And so I'm going to dive into the sales components, which are certainly critical. And what we're going to do here, we're going to give the view of the process as if Netrio was going to take a client end-to-end itself without a partner engaged. Now, I mentioned before, Netrio formerly had a direct sales focus. Now Netrio is 100% channel. So I show this because regardless of whether it's Netrio selling it direct or whether it's sold through a channel partner or whether it's sold white label, the steps are all the same. And we certainly encourage our partners to follow these. But I broke the sales process into two parts. The first front end is where you qualify, educate, and do the design for the solution that you're going to present. And the steps here is obviously prospecting for the right client, and dialing in that target market's key because you don't want to waste sales resources, time, and you certainly don't want to take the solution into the wrong type of client that's going to cost everybody a bunch of cycles. And then it's education for, depending upon where the client is in their buyer's journey. Then it's assess and evaluate, help the customer define their requirements, nail down at least initial budgetary pricing, certainly be in tune with what are the business drivers, financial outcomes the client's trying to engineer to. And then it's solution design, technical design as really that first part of the sales process. And once you get to the end of that, you've likely got a client that is far down the path. You're engineering towards a proposal. And that leads us to the next steps, which are propose, negotiate, close. If you're looking at this as a sales process, it'd be 6 stages across the top, but for the purpose of keeping a high level, we're condensing it here for you. But at this stage, it's finalize and tweak the proposal. It's just, as everybody that's watching knows, it's an iterative process because you may start off thinking you're going to do one thing, and through the education, defining requirements, working on the budget, you adjust the proposal accordingly. Then once you get to final design, then you're papering up the agreement, customer terms, conditions, any financial arrangements. If, let's say, you got to procure hardware, put together the final paperwork, which includes the order. And by the way, all that can take place in 6 months for a large strategic deal that's hundreds of locations. It can be a lot shorter than that for the customer that wants to move fast. And we're seeing a lot of that now. I mean, we've seen how many deals, Brian, have we seen where customers looking and 3 weeks later they're moving forward? So they can move fast. And then what happens is paperwork's drawn up in Nirvana for any sales partner, whether you're an agent or selling at white label. Nirvana is whatever you agree to with the client gets memorialized in the paperwork, in the SOW, and gets handed off in the form of a package, hopefully with as much complete as possible.